In a small African village, nestled between ancient baobab trees and whispering grasslands, lived Cato, the barber. But Cato's shop held a secret, a mystery that drew whispers and curious glances. Why did a barber, a man who sculpted appearances, refuse to keep a single mirror? What darkness did he hide from his own reflection? The village of Ife was a place where stories were woven into the very fabric of life. The sun beat down on mud huts, and the air vibrated with the sounds of children playing, women singing, and the rhythmic pounding of mortars. In the heart of the village stood Cato's barber shop. It was a simple structure, but warm and inviting, adorned with intricate wooden carvings depicting ancestral spirits and protective charms. The tools of his trade, razors, combs, and sharpening stones, hung neatly on the walls, bathed in the golden light that streamed through the open doorway. But something was missing, something crucial for a barber: mirrors. Villagers gathered in small groups, their voices hushed with speculation. Children pointed and giggled, elders shook their heads with knowing glances, and customers, while grateful for Cato's skill, couldn't help but wonder. Why no mirror? It was a question that hung heavy in the air, unanswered and unsettling. They wondered if he was ugly or perhaps he was hiding something. Among the villagers was a young man named Oba. He was known for his courage and his insatiable curiosity. Oba had heard the rumors, the whispers about Cato's mirrorless shop, and he couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the story than met the eye. He decided to uncover the truth. One day, Oba approached Cato's shop, a small, polished hand mirror concealed beneath his cloak. He had gotten a hold of it from his travels to a neighboring village. He was determined to solve the mystery that plagued Ife. He greeted Cato with respect and asked for a trim. As Cato began to work, the atmosphere in the shop grew thick with tension. Cato's hands were steady and precise, his movements practiced, but he never once glanced at where a mirror should have been. Oba watched him closely, his heart pounding in his chest. The scent of herbs and shea butter filled the air, mingling with the unspoken question that hung between them. As Cato trimmed Oba's beard, Oba slowly reached inside his cloak, his fingers closing around the cool surface of the hand mirror. With a deep breath, he pulled it out and subtly positioned it to reflect Cato's face. The effect was immediate and terrifying. As Cato's reflection appeared in the mirror, it twisted and contorted, the familiar features warping into a grotesque mask. His eyes became hollow and dark, and another face, a spectral visage of rage and torment, pressed against his, struggling to break free. The candles in the shop flickered violently, casting dancing shadows on the walls. The air grew heavy, charged with an unseen energy. Oba gasped, dropping the mirror. It shattered on the floor, the shards glowing faintly with an eerie, supernatural light. Cato recoiled, his face etched with pain and fear. The shop fell silent except for their ragged breaths. Cato, his voice trembling, began to tell Oba the story of his curse. The scene shifts into a flashback. A younger Cato, full of youthful ambition, worked late into the night in his master Musa's shop. Musa, a wise and respected barber, had warned him never to work after dark, never to tamper with mirrors under the moon's eerie gaze. He had warned him of the spirits that lurked in the shadows, spirits that could be drawn to reflections. But young Cato, eager to perfect his craft, ignored his master's warnings. He lit a lamp and continued to work, his eyes fixed on the mirror. As he worked on a mask, the mirror began to ripple like water. A fiery-eyed spirit emerged from its depths, its voice a haunting whisper that echoed through the shop. The spirit cursed Cato, binding him to the mirror, condemning him to carry its image within his reflection for the rest of his days. The ancestral symbols carved into the shop walls seemed to writhe in the flickering shadows. The story returns to the present. Cato's face was etched with sorrow as he finished his tale. He explained that every time he looked in a mirror, the spirit would try to break free, to consume him. That was why he had banished all mirrors from his shop. why he lived in constant fear of his own reflection. Oba listened in stunned silence, his initial curiosity replaced by a profound sense of guilt and understanding. He had sought to uncover a mystery, but he had inadvertently reopened a wound, forcing Cato to relive his torment. He expressed his deepest regrets. The villagers outside were now aware that something was wrong inside the shop. Oba left Cato's shop shaken to his core. He shared the story with the villagers, but they reacted with a mixture of disbelief and fear. Some dismissed it as a foolish tale, others whispered about dark magic and ancestral curses. The elders, however, knew better. They understood the power of belief, the weight of tradition, and the unseen forces that shaped their world. The village was divided. Some avoided Cato, fearing his cursed reflection. Others offered him support, bringing him food and tending to his shop. Cato continued to serve his community, his hands as skilled as ever, but his heart heavy with the burden of his secret. Cato grew old, his hair turning silver, his hands gnarled with age. He never touched a mirror again, living his life in the shadows, a testament to the power of the unseen. When he died, he was buried without glass, his body returned to the earth, his secret buried with him. His shop stood empty, a silent reminder of the barber who dared to defy the spirits. The tale of Cato became a legend, passed down through generations in the village of Ife. A cautionary tale about the dangers of curiosity, the power of curses, and the hidden depths that lie beneath the surface of our own reflections. The next time you look into a mirror, are you sure it's only yourself looking back? Let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more African folktales.